Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be going over my Fire Emblem collection. Let's get right into it. So for those of you who don't know, which is probably just about all of you watching this, Fire Emblem is one of my favorite video games of all time, and favorite series in general of all time. And there's multiple reasons for this. You know, my fondness for the series comes from many aspects to it, but one of the main ones is the central themes in the narratives within the stories in the games. And you know, the series came into my life at a time where I really just didn't feel very connected, and it felt kind of like that, like an outsider, you know. And I really wanted to have a lot of friends and wanted to be popular, and it was cool because Fire Emblem sort of showed me that there's a lot of different people in the world. There's a lot of people that have different ideas and opinions on things, but that we can still work together, you know. And so that was really huge for me at the time when I was like 10 years old. And I started playing Fire Emblem Awakening. But anyways, yeah, today I just wanted to show off my collection of everything that I've collected over the years, being a fan of this franchise since about 2013, I believe is when it was. So it's almost been 10 years. But with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and start with our first piece of the collection, starting with the first game in the series, Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light. Now, as you might notice, the game is only in Japanese, as you might see there. And the reason for that is because this game actually never came out in the West until 30 years after this on the eShop. So this came out for the 30th anniversary on the eShop, but it was only a digital code, so you couldn't own it physically. I'm still upset by that, but I have the original. It's pretty cool looking, and has the cartridge in there and the manual and everything like that. I opened it up once. I don't plan on doing it ever again because it's really hard to get everything back in there. But that's the first thing in the collection. The next thing is the remake, Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon. I almost said, and the Blade of Light. This is Shadow Dragon. This is the remake of that first one that I showed you on the Nintendo DS. As you can see there. This one, pretty good. I actually like this more than the original because the original hasn't aged as well, but it's still a pretty decent game. I still like it quite a bit. But this one is good. It's a good one. The story of Marth started here. I really liked it. It was good. I also played this first. I played it, and then like a couple months later, they announced that the original was coming to Switch. So I had to play it twice back to back. So that was interesting. All right, so the next thing I have is actually probably the coolest thing in my collection, the VHS tape. This is the OVA. It's 2 episodes long, and it was released back in the 90s. And so what was interesting about this is that the series hadn't come out in the West yet, not until like 2003. But this came out in the late 90s, so we just got this thing called Fire Emblem, and I had no idea it was a Nintendo thing or a video game, and here it was. So that's another cool piece there. There's the back of it. You get a good shot of that. Next thing is the art book of Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light. It's pretty big, so I'm gonna try to make sure you can see it. This thing is really cool. It came out with the first game when it came to Switch. You could get a collector's edition of this thing, but you just couldn't own it physically, so you were stuck with this thing. So next up we have Fire Emblem Awakening. As I said, this right here is my favorite, really my favorite game of all time. And this was the first one I played, first one I got into on the 3DS. It's super good. Huge fan of this one, and glad that it's part of my collection. Next up, we have some unconventional items that I don't really see many other Fire Emblem collection videos on YouTube have in their videos, and that is the the manga volumes of Fire Emblem Awakening. I'll let you guys get a good look at each of these. There's the first one. They were in 2 volumes, so there's that one. And then here was the second volume one. So these ones, they're all in Japanese, so you can't actually read them too easily, but I think they're pretty good. They're cool to look at. I like the art in them, and a cool part of the collection. Next up is a couple of figures in the collection, and that is the Chrom and Robin amiibo. I have both of these as in the Fire Emblem Awakening section of my collection that rhymed. These are cool. I like these. These are like the 2 main characters in the story of Awakening. There's a close-up of Chrom right there. Looks pretty good. There's a close-up of Robin. Less good, but still good. Finally, in the Awakening section of my collection, we have the Awakening art book. This thing is a hunk. This thing is huge. I have to like back up just so you can get it in the frame right here. This thing is crazy. The art on it is really, really cool too. Not a whole lot on the back, but this thing is like rad. This is like one of the coolest things I have, to be honest. It's really, really incredible, really cool. And it contains every support log in the game. So the whole like back part of this is nothing but writing. It's actually pretty crazy. Like if I can show y'all a picture of this. Here's just one page of the support logs, and there's like, I don't even know, like 50 to 100 of these pages. I don't know, but like they're super tiny words. There's a lot of them. There was a lot of work that went into this franchise, and especially this game. Alright, so next part of the collection is my Fire Emblem 3 Houses stuff. So we're going to start with the games. First we'll start with 3 Houses itself, right here. Get you a good close-up look at that one. Look at the back a little bit. So this is my second favorite game of all time, and second favorite Fire Emblem. It is so good. It's honestly quite incredible, the amount of work that went into this and this story. It's really incredible, and every single time I play it, which I played it like 6 times and finished it, maybe I think actually 8 last I checked, it was about that. I cry every time. It's just that good. But there it is, 3 Houses. Next up we have Fire Emblem 3 Hopes. First get your close up of that one. Good look at that. Good look at the back. There you go. So this is a weird one. It's technically a spin-off, but also a sequel to 3 Houses, but also a retelling of the story. So it's really kind of a weird, interesting existence this game has.
I'm sure everyone will understand that.
Yeah, it's complicated, but it's good. I liked it. I haven't finished all the stories in it, but I like this. All right, next up, we have a few other trinkets for 3 Houses. That is this little Christmas pin with the house leaders on it. If you get a good look at that. This is not an official piece in any way, but it is cool. It's also kind of cute. Another thing is this this little Flane knick-knack. Flane is one of my favorite characters, and this is just a cool little thing. It has like a little thing for a keychain on there, so you could use it like that. But yeah, these are cool. And real quick, this is just something else I got for Christmas one year. It is a Fire Emblem 3 Houses beanie. It has the logo on it right there. I've worn it once. Make that twice. Okay. All right, next part. I'm gonna
Wear this for the rest of the video.
I'm gonna wear this for the rest of the video, guys. I hope you're ready for this. I'm not.
But I am.
All right, next part, next piece is the Byleth amiibo. There it is. Pretty sweet fire sword. This is the main character in 3 Houses. He's cool. And finally, to round out the 3 Houses part of this, is this kind of diorama picture thingy of the house leaders and Byleth. It's pretty cool. I like it. It's like a little standee. On the front, it has Dimitri, Edelgard, and Claude, and then male Byleth. But then if you flip it around on the back, you have female Byleth. So, but I'm a boy, so I usually use the boy side. That's just me. Alright, for the next part, we have some GBA games here. We're just I'm gonna do these in order. You think I'm gonna get arrested for this one? I have a copy of Binding Blade. It's in English. Then I also have these two right here. I have plastic cases for them. These are the 2 GBA games. These are pretty cool. I like these. They came in cardboard boxes originally, and most people throw those away. I got mine much later without the boxes, and so I bought these plastic cases for them. So those are pretty cool. For the next part, we have some more 3DS games. First up, we're gonna go over the Fates series, which is Fire Emblem Fates Birthright and Fire Emblem Fates Conquest. And if you put them together, they face each other, so it looks really cool on the shelf. These two, honestly, are some of my least favorite games in the series. They're not really super good in the story department, but they are a lot of fun, and I still really like to play them to this day. And there was a DLC third game as well, and that was like the main one. These two are more like demos for that, so it's a weird game, weird situation. It's split across 3, but I do like them. I think they're pretty good, and they're part of my collection. And finally, we have Fire Emblem Shadows of Valentia. Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valentia. There's a good look at that one. Huge fan of this one. This is honestly, sometimes I say it's like my favorite one in the series, but I don't think that's true. I just like it a lot. I think the story is really, really good. The gameplay is pretty incredible as well. But I really like this one. It's a really special one to me, and that cover is sick. I want y'all to know that off camera, I have my little brother Gabriel grabbing all these things for me, so
shout out to me.
Shout out to him. Alright. Next part, we have the miscellaneous, basically everything else. Here we have, alright, so I'm gonna show you the first part, Fire Emblem Warriors on Switch. That's a good one. I have the 3DS version as well. It's sealed. It's a sealed version. I have both. So funny story, I had this originally, and I knew I would get the Switch version instead because the 3DS version is just not as good. And I was like, well, I'm just gonna get the Switch version eventually. So I actually sold this one, and then bought this after a while when I got a Switch. And then after a while, I got this again. I bought this game 3 times. But next up, we have Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE Encore on the Switch. This one is really weird. This is also a spin-off, so this one isn't totally all just Fire Emblem stuff, but it was originally marketed as a spin-off. It was a crossover between Fire Emblem and Shin Megami Tensei, which I've never played that before, but I know a lot of people like that. This is a weird existence. And then finally, wait, Gabe, are we done?
Yeah.
The last part of my collection is actually some cards. I got some of the Fire Emblem cards. I saved the packaging, so I'm that weirdo. There's one package real quick. There's a quick shot of that, and there's a quick shot of the other one. I basically saved trash, so there you go. I also have a bunch of cards. I'll show y'all some of those. Here's a Valadar one. He's the main villain in Awakening. That's cool. Here's a quick shot of Kajel, another character from Awakening. Let's get a non-Awakening character. I have a lot. Actually, I have another Kajel, guys. So I have a specialty specialty Crom, which is cool, from Tokyo Mirage. That's cool. I have that. I like that. I have a Gordon card. He's from the first one, actually. So yeah, it was just like, I have a bunch of those. All right here. I have like this nice little size stack of cards in here. They're pretty cool. I've never played the game because, again, this was never came to America, so never actually got it. But those are cool. I like those. They're cool to look at. I like them a lot. I think we did it. I think we did all of them, honestly. Yeah, did we get everything?
I think.
But anyways, guys, that was everything in the collection. Thank you all for watching. God bless.
Do something funny, bro. We need a blooper.
What? But anyways, thank you all for... That's not me. Who am I? So, that's everything in my collection. Thank you all for watching. Well, do I want to end it like that? Do I want to end it that quick?